The Async Aerospace Center, or Async Research and Development Facility Team, or SROL, is a laboratory that was designed to test newer technologies that can contain the ability to distort our threshold, rocket testing, and projectile particle testing. The Async Research and Development Facility Team was built since 1957 to make some of the prototype testing in 1973 and disclosure of personal information if anyone decided to use this service. The initial request from Ivan Beck, former president of the research facility, is for the government to give the Async Research $6.6 million in order to further their research. However, this request was of big importance. After denied, the research has asked the researchers that the KV-31, invented in December 2, 1979, they tested the KV-31 in February 26, 1980 to give the prototype $3.8 million. The first threshold was found completely deactivated and without 55 gigawatts of power. It was decided to test it again in second test and with even more railings and supports. Will offered their second test for Async's use. Threshold-02 was officially decommissioned on the April 29th of 1980. An official statement was put out praising the Async team for their timeless work to bring the very first threshold into being. Being to make from the third test, from 10/1/1980, was made by the Async Research Facility to distort 55 gigawatts of power from making our own storage space. On the 4 to 5 tests, there are no data to the threshold. The God particle second model has tested to the teleportation from SR Research in 4/1/1982, which has nicknamed Hadron Collider. After 1.5 years of absence, the 7/15/1982 was built the thin stone layers for the legal upgrade to the Project KV-31 or Low Proximity Magnetic Distortion System, causing the shaking of the threshold. Severe damages or magnitude 5.9 earthquake. For the sixth model, the test has completed. In the start of the Independent States Allied Force, task forces or combatant war, from current Citrix were started since 7/17/1982. Backrooms Tape Archive has seen all those reports of missing people to increasing from 500 to 10,000 and a new aluminium layer to give us a heatwolf shield to build our new gateway from 7/21/1982, which nicknamed Harrison Builders. From the center of Santa Cruz, Richter magnitude 10.1 earthquake has shaking violently, which side effects include hallucinations, paranoia, collapsed building, very strong injuries, shortness of breath, has issued from 7/22/1982, and the underground from -50 meters deep. The threshold has tested to a rush hour damages, which is the seventh test. If it is a 10.1 earthquake, leave the facility as fast as humanly possible. The bacteria monster regulation was telling the due date to give an inspection team to revive. 7/24/1982, several SCP Foundation researchers had found the deceased body, which going to Russia, Moscow to USA, Santa Cruz. In about a week, the deceased body was located by the deposit room, programmed by the Secure, Contain, Protect or SCP Foundation or Async Research to revive a lost person for the first aid Zoran medic, instead of the anti-gravity T-Rex fighter, has no clipped into the backrooms, which nicknamed Cherena Volkova. The regulation or recoverage of Cherena Volkova was revived since 7/30/1982 or 8/1/1982. The deposit room or room 42I has discovered seeing hazardous entities in Fort Total. The SCP Foundation or General Headquarters or GHQ are hypothesized that the 2048 trial or Thiago Callisto has in reviving one of the most natural disasters. After the infection is gone since 9/5/1982, her voice box and arteries are working for the human body from the surgery room number 3. Now it happened to the 10/19/1982. It's from the God Particles Professor John Lewis, former scientist of the async/SR oil that it can add a new universe from other dimensions. From the future it consuming to the exploration that